guys, so this is Moondust with Moondust Tarot and Moondust Darling. I had posted my Spirit de la Lune Oracle deck online a few days ago after I'd gotten it and kind of poked around to see if there would be any interest in showing a walkthrough or a review of sorts for the deck. I haven't had much of an opportunity to work with it quite yet, but I did want to go ahead and do a pseudo unboxing or first impressions type video to just kind of give you a better look at it if you're looking into the deck itself and you'd like to know a little bit more about how it works and what you get with the deck. Then this would be a good video for you. It won't be a review on how it reads or how things work because, like I said, I haven't had that much of an opportunity to work with it, but I did want to go ahead and show you the deck itself and see if that might be helpful for some people who have been looking into the deck and deciding on whether or not they'd like to purchase it. So I will be going through, and the first thing that I will be doing is I am going to show you each of the cards in a little bit more detail in case you're just here to kind of see how things look aesthetically. Then that'll get you through that portion first, and then for anyone who is looking a little bit more into like logistics, stick around. After I show you each of the cards, I will be doing a little bit more detailed work and showing you a little bit more about how things work as far as the guidebook and the deck itself and how it flows and things like that. So I hope that this is useful for you guys. I'm looking forward to doing more videos like this if this one goes well. I really appreciate your time. Thanks, guys. Alrighty, so to start off with, I do want to show you the backs of the cards. I do think that they are really beautiful and worth some attention to detail here to start off with. So I definitely like the galaxy print, and then the design that's added on top of that I think is really beautiful and fitting for the deck itself. There is, you know, some crescents going on in there, some elemental geometrics, some really mandala inspired artwork, and I think that they're beautiful. So I did want to show those to you before we moved on to the actual deck. So this deck is broken up into 3 sections, the first being the Moondalas, and they feature a sort of calendar of the moons per month and what they're associated with. So starting here with the seed moon. So I'll just go ahead and move through these cards so that you can see the detail on each of them. I'm not going to speak on each of them because then this video would probably be 1,000 years long, but I did want to show you what you're looking at with each of the card fronts as well. This card, though, I will say is probably one of my favorites. I love the colors in it, and that bee in the center is just the cutest thing. If you do hear any snoring in the background, since I am using my better camera, it's just my dogs. They're sleeping. Don't mind them. At the end of those month type things, they do have a few other special moon type phases. So there was the blue moon previous to this one, then the solar eclipse, the lunar eclipse, and the super moon. And then here starts the second section of the deck. This is all about waxing and waning. So it starts with the new moon and moves on to waxing crescents. There are 6 of these cards, I believe, ending on number 7 in this section. And it just builds and builds up. And then after that final waxing crescent, we start in at the air zodiac signs. So in this segment, two of the sections are kind of intermixed, where you'll have a moon phase and then one of the zodiac elements. So starting with air, obviously. And then we move into another phase of the moons, starting with the first quarter and waxing gibbous. So these will add up and build into the next zodiac element section. And by the color story that's told here, I'm sure that you know what's coming up next. So then we get into the fire signs, beginning with Aries. And then we start again in the moon phases, beginning with the full moon, moving into the waning gibbous, so then these will just dwindle down into the next zodiac phase. Into Cancer here with the water elements. And then beginning that last lunar phase section, beginning with the last quarter. Into the waning crescents. Finally, the earth signs. Alrighty, so that is the deck in total. I will move through in the next couple of sections with just what is included when you purchase this deck, some extra goodies they have in there, and then talking a little bit more in detail about the guidebook, because I know that some people are really particular about their guidebooks, and I think that this particular book is done very well, so I would like to go into a little bit more detail about that. So if you're looking for details like those, do stick around, and those will be my next couple of sections. Okay, so even though this deck has long been unboxed before making this video, I did want to give you a little bit of an overview of what's included in the package when you do order this deck. So you get your guidebook, which is a good sized guidebook. It's pretty big. You get your tin to keep your cards, and then separately from the tin, when you get the package, your cards are wrapped in cellophane, and that was ripped off in like 0.2 seconds after I got it, so I don't obviously have that to show you, but it does come separately from the tin, so everything is in a small box with some purple confetti. It's all packaged very nicely. I think that it traveled very well, and it was done very well, and I wasn't worried about anything getting damaged in transport, so that was really cool. So the tin is pretty plain other than the top, which is very cute. Nothing on the bottom or anything like that. A pretty simple tin, but it fits the cards pretty well. They do have some wiggle room in there, so if you are going to be traveling with the deck a lot, I would suggest either lining it or putting them in a bag inside of the tin, because they can get bounced around a bit because the cards don't fit super snugly in there, which is in and of itself really great. But if you are traveling with the tin, I do think that you need a little bit more protection going on in there for the cards. So I did also want to take a moment to speak about the extra cards that are included in this deck. They probably had like a printing number that they needed to meet, and so they wanted to use their extra cards in order to, give you some extra things instead of just maybe duplicating cards or giving you some blank things or having to unwrap the cellophane from the printers. I think that they use their extra cards really well, and whereas I don't think that duplicating cards is a good use of extra printing means, I think that they did really well with what they chose to do. So I want to start off with this moon blessing that is included. I am not going to read it for you because I will probably butcher it, which is why I'm not reading from a script today. So I just want to focus on it for a minute and allow you to kind of take that in. So I thought that was super cute to include. I think that they did really well with it. It's a really cute little blessing and a really nice element to add in there for personalization. And then they have a couple of extra informational cards. The first being the 4 turnings. So what they do is they give you very basic associations that you can make with the phases of the moon, the 4 major ones anyway. And then a similar card here with the 4 elements. They go into associations for air, fire, water, and earth. Just basic ones, you know, that are going to be helpful to keep in mind as you're working with this deck, as you're working with the elements and the zodiac signs and things like that. And then this last card is a pretty standard one for most decks, and it just allows for links and extra information about the creators or paired projects or what you can do with the deck if you're looking to connect a little bit more. So I thought that they used their extra cards really well. I was really happy with how they chose to print those, and yeah, I think that it's really great. So I just wanted to give you a little bit more of a heads up on what to expect with this deck. So next I am going to go ahead and move into the guidebook. So if you'd like more info on what's included in the book and what to expect when working with it paired with the deck, keep on watching, and that'll be next.